You've got your crystals, you've got your army diet, you've got your silent meditation retreat, please be quiet. You've got your oil pulling bullet journal juicing cacao. Come sit and talk about it, nothing is a sacred cow. Tell us all about the whoa that you do.
Hey everybody, welcome to That Woo You Do, the podcast where we discuss... Hey everybody, welcome to that... I rethought the sentence while I was saying it, and then I was like, just go back to what your urge was to say, which was, hey everybody, welcome to That Woo You Do, where we want to know...
What woo are you doing?
Hey, don't sleep. You never know when the sentence is going to get thrown your way. Don't take a hydration break now. I'm trying to sit like this while I talk to you because I don't like my 3/4 view.
You're so welcome to do that.
Hey, everybody. I'm Mary Lynn, and this is Jeffrey J. This podcast is called That Woo You Do because we want to talk about and we want to know what kind of magical thinking you do that makes you feel better about everything.
Yeah. What kind of mythical, magical thing are you doing? What's the thing you're kind of embarrassed about?
Do you have any habits that you think enhance your connection to the universe?
Yeah, or your goals?
Or celestial beings?
Ooh, or the stars?
Are you connected to ghosts?
Ooh.
Are you a medium? Would you like to be?
Ooh.
Is your goal to learn how to use a Ouija board?
Or meditate.
Or meditate.
Yeah.
And just get in tune with what your goals are.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't know. Guess what? We're not going to help with that.
We're not, but we're going to think it's pretty darn cool for a second and then maybe judge it for a sec also.
You're pretty good. We've talked about this before, but you write your goals down.
Yeah.
Have you achieved your goals that you've written down?
Yes, I have. And not only have I... So it's not just that I write them down. And here's the thing. I'm going to put this down. You better not throw another sentence my way.
Hey, why don't you like, subscribe,
and also rate.
Give us a 5-star review. Hey, join our... hey, wooers, join our YouTube nation. Call in when you get a chance.
What are we going to figure out our name for our fans? Our woozers?
Woozies.
Woozies. I love woozies. That's it.
It's terrible.
It's so good.
And great.
It is great. Not only do I write down my goals.
Sounds like furries.
It sure does. Also, it sounds like a floozy.
Floozy and koozie. like.
Keep going.
Did you bring your beer koozie?
Ooh.
Hey, I got an extra beer koozie if you need it.
Tell me.
Hey, you know what? I'm gonna drink that before it gets not cold. What's up?
I love your character.
Here, give me your can. I'll put it in a koozie for you.
Hey, Barb, throw me a koozie.
We're at a barbecue or we're at a tailgate party. I haven't been to a barbecue or a tailgate party in so long that if I go to one, I'd probably be like, oh, is this your barbecue? I can't. Just even me coming in here, it's like, she spent too much time alone with the cat and the dog. Like, I'm just agitated, but that's because I don't know how to act socially anymore.
Oh my God.
Let me get you a koozie for that. Let me get you a koozie.
Yeah, when's the last time
Woozies.
You used a koozie?
Woozies and jacuzzis.
Yeah, a woozy koozie would be a great first merch. Woozy koozie.
Let's do it.
You could put your hibiscus mint tea in this.
I'm going to say something. That high five felt good.
It sure did.
I know it probably is really cringy, but...
Why?
High fives.
High fives?
Nobody wants that.
Everybody wants high fives.
If you're watching it, it doesn't feel... It feels great. If you're watching it, it's probably like, stop.
No. That's not true.
You can't jump in the enthusiasm of a high five if you're not participating in the high five.
That's not true. I feel every high five.
Do you really?
Yeah. Every time I see people connecting or joy.
Oh.
That's why I love watching sports so much, and also why people
you watch
hate
sports?
Yep.
There's so many mysteries to Jeffrey that unfolds every week.
But here's the thing.
From eating food with your hands to moon water to, hey, I watch sports. Or to the, you want to casually hang out with Jeffrey? You might end up in an orgy. Check his Instagram for a clip on that.
I won't be in that orgy. You'll just be
You'll
having
be cleaning
it.
the house.
I'll be cleaning up after.
And watching sports. Who knew?
Yeah.
Did you grow up?
Not you guys. You guys are doing great too, though. I was talking about the team.
The sport. My sports team
Yeah.
is winning.
I watch other sports, like when other people are like, we're going to watch a game. I'm like, yes, please, I want to go. I don't care who it is. But the problem is that if they're diehard fans, it's a problem because I cheer for whatever team has scored because I'm happy for them in that moment.
I've done that at my son's basketball
Yes.
games before. I'm for the most part, I'm pretty much. I'm going to go back on what I'm saying immediately as I'm saying it. It's happened before where, oftentimes it's the other team's doing so bad, and then they get something, and I'm like, come on, it wouldn't be a good game if they were doing that bad. We want them to do it, but most of the time I'm focused on my son's team.
Yeah.
To a fault where I can't even.
That's
because I'm still
personal.
trying to follow, but I'm also still trying to follow sports.
Yeah.
And I'm still, I feel like other people can know, oh, they're doing the banana right now or whatever. Like they can see the play before it happens.
Is that a play in basketball?
No, it certainly isn't.
I really thought it was.
The banana.
That's because they start
They're
together
doing
and
the
then they
zigzag.
split.
Do the koozie. They're going to do the koozie move now. He sets a screen and then the other
There's
one.
a banana cut in basketball.
Yeah, I'm gonna suggest this. Be like, son, hey,
I can't read it at all.
you're
I
on
can
the
just
freshman team
read
now.
the top
I've
part.
been holding this one back, but
banana cut. It's
there's a play called the banana cut. I want to introduce this.
a
I'm gonna
variation.
talk to coach about it.
It's a variation
I
of
show
the
up in a
regular
halter top
cut.
with a koozie.
Wait, what is a cut in a player runs around? I'm lost already.
No, I can understand this. I know basketball.
Okay, brag.
A banana, I don't. That's my whole point is that I've been watching him for years, and I know some stuff. A banana cut in basketball is a variation on the regular cut. Okay, what's a regular cut?
I never
It's just moving in a straight line.
Moving in a straight line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if you cut towards the back, like you've heard somebody say he cuts.
Oh,
towards
it's one
the
of those
basket.
things where it's so basic that it made me
Yes.
think that it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't even need to say regular cut. The
Yeah,
motion
you just
towards
say
the basket.
run. Yep.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm over this website.
It's like a banana run.
You're confusing me. It's almost like you're getting directions somewhere, and they're like, "Take the street in front of you," and you're like, "What street in front of me?" It's like, no, just drive out of the parking lot. Is what I'm saying. Instead of the player cutting in a straight line, the player runs around the.
So instead of running, you just go like this.
Start running in a straight line.
Oh my god.
This would be like plays that I would run.
I'm so done.
All right, so you're gonna slowly run around the edge like a banana peel. Instead of cutting like as fast as you can towards the
Yes.
basket, just slowly jog around the edge and,
Oh
and
my
confuse
God.
them. Then get in the banana zone.
It's like teaching swim lessons. I taught swim lessons for years.
This guy, I can't.
All of
We
them.
need to parse these out. You
Yeah.
just dropped so many. How can you be into Dungeons and Dragons and sports?
Yeah, all these things. Well, let me tell you
He's
about
like, whatever.
real quick.
I'm very
No, I'll tell you why.
Multifaceted and available.
Again, I'm an asexual, so I have a lot of time. It's amazing how much extra time you have when you don't look for, seek out, or have sex.
I'm not asexual, and I have very few skills and interests. And I'm also not having sex, so you win everything.
I'm not asexual, and I have very few skills and interests.
I saw this guy with this motorcycle helmet, and it said Anai, like it was a brand, and I was like, anal? I was like, what is wrong with me?
Oh my god!
And then I saw another like a company name that on a truck that was micro, and I was like penis. So I don't know what something's gonna happen after I drink this
My
sugar-free
God.
Red Bull. Okay, go on.
The only reason I brought up swim lessons is because that's what it feels like, that description. When you teach...
No, this episode is now called swim lessons, so don't say the only reason. All I want to hear about is...
Well, the thing was,
Did you
swim
say for
lessons-
many years?
Yeah, I did.
Where?
When I was 18 until I was like in my 20s, I taught swim lessons.
Where? In Texas?
Yeah, I did it in high school, and then I started my own swim
drinking
lessons
this like it's a
business for a
cocktail.
while, and then I had a swim lessons business for a little while.
Who are
So,
you?
I know. But
Was this
one-
before or after you were a chocolatier that you faked your way into?
this was...
Did you fake your way into being a swimming instructor as well?
No, that I really learned. But I
better.
didn't know how to swim very well before I became a lifeguard. That's another story. I did fake my way into lifeguarding. Okay. When you teach swim lessons to kids or anything to kids, you have to take and make descriptions that they understand. So you don't say, you cup your hands. You say, make your hands into ice cream scoops. Scoop the ice cream. So it's like in baseball,
You
in
hate
basketball.
kids, don't you?
In basketball, you'd go like,
Did you use that
hey,
voice?
don't run over there. Johnny, hey, do a banana arch. Do
Right.
the banana cut. And then they would remember it. So maybe it's for toddlers.
And that is a real term on set.
What is?
A banana.
What?
Banana to the left.
What?
Oh, yeah. Many times I've been on set.
I cannot.
I'm a professional actress.
How many lives have you had?
When I was on the show, that would be the camera person would go, could you just banana left?
What does that mean? Move left?
Curve out. Arc out.
Oh my God.
Banana right.
Is that
banana
from
left.
basketball? Or did basketball get it from
Or
the
is it
theater
from
kids?
Swim lesson.
Or swim lessons? Wow. Bananas are so versatile.
They really are.
You can do a lot. And it's all because they have a little curve.
Like a penis.
I was going to say like a nice curvy body. Like I was going to make it into a body positivity
I
thing.
just felt like I had to call
And
back.
you went...
I felt like I had to. I wasn't committed to it.
No, I think this is great. Again, it's another example of like asexual versus not. Mine's about body positivity. And yours is like dicks.
Yeah. It's not good.
What?
Um,
It's natural.
Is that a visual representation of the banana?
This is a visual representation of the banana swirl, which is a basketball play.
Oh my God! It looks like an astrology thing.
It does. It does.
It looks like a, what are those called?
Hey, your rising
Constellation.
banana is in the house of your...
Rising banana.
I've done it again. I've made a penis reference again.
We like the penis
I don't
references
even
here.
understand this very simple...
I'm
Because the color changes, so it's like you change colors when you get to the end point.
Yeah. Wait, how did we start with this?
Oh, here we go. It's showing us. Now I feel like this is
Nope.
the solar system.
I'm done. Oh, that's why sports. That's it. The whole point was that I like watching sports because I cheer for both teams whenever they're winning, and I'm happy to see people happy.
I'll slow down the animation.
And I
That's
thought
it.
you were... Okay, here we go. Here's the beginning of it. Banana. And I'm...
Oh, I like that they made the ball dribble.
Oh, that's the ball. See, I was already like thinking the ball was the person.
No.
We'll do it one more time. So
Okay, this is someone passing the ball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're gonna pass that ball. Boom.
Oh, I get it.
Pass. This guy's gonna dribble.
So
for
the
a bit.
blue
Dribble,
is the
dribble, dribble.
banana going behind.
Boom.
And then the other
Boom. Banana swirl and a swoosh.
Oh,
That
I like
yellow
it.
dot was so happy at the end. See,
I can need to spend more time doing this.
even though that's just a dot, I'm happy for that dot. That's how.
Be careful, it's a slippery slope. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
you'll be marrying a bridge. Have you heard about those people? Some days I'm like, I get it. And then some days I'm like, that is...
I was so on board with the idea of somebody doing that because I was like, I love this for them. They haven't found love, and then they found it in this, and I'm so happy for them. And then the only thing that ever I had pushback on it personally is when one of the guys said, we broke up because we got in an argument. And I was like, how? What?
I want to watch that. You've been down more of a rabbit hole about this than I have.
Yeah, I love it. It was a guy who was dating his car, and apparently him and his car got in an argument. And I was like, what? But otherwise, how lovely for that. It's a conflict-free relationship.
Did you ever have a kid that you just that would not learn how to swim?
No.
Oh.
No. It is hard to be a swim lessons instructor, though, because you have to kind of... It's not that you have to hurt them, but you're traumatizing them. Depending on their age and stuff, you have to push them through the fear.
Right.
So, I have had kids actually not swim because their parents took them out because the parents were too clingy and they wouldn't leave.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same reason you shouldn't teach your own kid to swim.
Right.
Because you should be the parent who's lovely and let that person have to kind of push them through the fear of learning to swim. So those parents were helicopter parents. They wouldn't let the kid get scared and choke on a little bit of water, whatever. So anyways, let your kid, leave your kid at swim lessons. Let us do our thing. I promise you they'll come out the other side. They will still love us. They'll still think we're awesome. But in order to save your kid's life, you got to let that kid get scared and work through it for a little bit.
Scary.
True.
Multifaceted.
Yeah. I'm going to traumatize your kid and then they're going to love me.
I was on the swim team, but I was not a swim instructor.
What?
Yeah.
I
Don't
didn't
be
know
that
that.
surprised, Jeffrey.
I don't know why I wouldn't think that you would be a swimmer. Swimming's the greatest.
Social.
What?
Because I'm so social.
Is that sarcasm or I think you're social?
No, I am.
Oh, good.
Because I started out the podcast saying I wasn't. I have issues with it, but I would say I am. Basically.
Yeah.
I need
you
it.
look like a swimmer. Swimmers
Then
have...
why are you so surprised?
I don't know.
Just because I hadn't told you?
Because you've never heard of you swimming before.
Yeah.
You did it in high school? Were you good at it?
I was pretty good. I did it for a long time, and I didn't even really love it. I just did it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But there's nobody around. Like, that's the greatest.
Yeah.
Swimming's the greatest. You're just you in your own head. It's meditative. I wish I could swim right now.
Competitively, that was really... Being under the water is kind of meditative, but it's also really stressful. I wonder if I should talk to some other swimmers about this, especially when I was in middle school and high school, because there's a panic because you can't stop and you got to go as fast as you can. And it's like claustrophobic. And that meditative, it's also like blurry and you can't hear.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're going to choke because you're going as fast as you can. So you need more oxygen, but you got to like balance the whole thing. Like I forgot about that. There's moments where, or like when you're doing your turn. Or you're breathing, you're like, am I going to just take in a mouthful of water, but like have to keep going? Because you're not going to stop.
Unless you are drowning. Well, I love that you're going to
But then I'm making it really dramatic because I don't know why it would be so stressful because you would just, all you have to do is take extra time and like
do the little side thing.
Take a breath, but.
Yeah.
But there's
so
still
cool.
moments of like it feeling bad and like isolating.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I've never done it competitively and I've never thought about that because I'm always like, it's just me swimming and that's beautiful. I've never had a race against somebody really where like that takes all the fun out of it.
Yeah.
You just sound like you're gonna drown because you're too embarrassed to take a breath.
Yeah, and it's a little bit like, when you're running and you get to that, and then it's just like adding water into that feeling.
Yeah, it's like
so you can still pace yourself, but it's a little bit like And also, here's the thing you can't breathe in while you're getting out of breath.
It's like when you're running, and then you're like, and then somebody walks by you, and you're like, hi. And then they get far enough out of reach, and you go, like, oh, that moment when somebody else, and you're trying to act like you're not dying.
Yeah.
But just in that small moment, like, hey, what's up? Yeah, we're both just exercising. Oh, God, that's the worst.
Or the few times when I've been running in a city setting, and I'm like, I'll sprint to get past the person, and I'm like, I was never about to sprint.
They're just gonna pass you
I was on a slow
again.
jog, and I'm just like, then I got to keep it going as if I ever go that pace.
Eventually, they'll catch up if you stop, or like, that's weird if you stop, and then they now have gone past you.
I have to act like that's my pace. It's not.
I meant to stop here, by the way. I just wanted to see if I could pass you.
Oh, I got Tie my shoe.
Hey, you passing me?
Something.
What's up here? Yeah, you gotta
Um,
pretend to tie your shoe. Oh my god. I can't believe we just got into your swimming stuff. You know I almost drowned. Or I did drown. once.
Why?
When I was like 12 or 13 or something, there's a place in Austin, or New Braunfels. There's a river, and there's a place called the Chute, and they funnel all the water in the river through this like concrete slide. You can go through it with a tube, or you can go through by yourself. And I went through it by myself, and I did it a couple times, but then one time I got caught by the undercurrent. This is why I am not scared to die, by the way.
Oh.
And I highly recommend drowning if you're gonna, if you need to die. Drowning, 10 out of 10 would do again. I got caught in the undercurrent. I was on my hands and knees.
It's like the opposite of that woo you do.
Yeah,
Like,
this
10
is
out of
so
10
woo woo.
Would recommend
Look,
tying rocks.
Yeah. So look at this: the tube, chute, safety, and having fun. I went through this thing. I got caught in the undercurrent, and I was on my hands and knees, and I could
Whoa.
not get up. The current was pushing me down, and I was like, "Oh no, I can't get up." And here's the crazy thing about like dying: I didn't feel any pain at all, and then all of a sudden, everything went golden, and everything was wonderful.
Because you were underwater for too long?
Yeah, I drowned, and
Wow.
yeah. Everything was beautiful and wonderful, and then I was like,
Did
"Oh,
you hear that
cool.
band that everybody
dying.
talks about?
Don't stop believing."
Oh, the Celestial Band.
Hold on. Oh, no, I heard
You're
Journey.
like, what's that? More than a feeling. No. She's my. No.
She's
The
my cherry
angelic. No, I heard Cherry Pie after the Golden Light.
I heard Stairway to Heaven, which still didn't feel appropriate. Like, no, everything went golden and everything was beautiful, and I was like, "Oh, cool, I'm dying. This is neat." And then I felt something cold on my cheek, and my body had gone limp, and I drifted and against a wall, and I had the wherewithal or something to go like this and put my hand up, and when I did, lifeguards saw my hand and got me, and then that's when the pain hit. After they got me out, and it was like the most pain ever. But up until then,
Wait,
because
because what was the pain from?
I had a bunch of water in my lungs.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not good. But the whole like dying.
So
part,
you had to get the water out?
Yeah, so it was like throwing up and coughing and like all this grossness, and it was gross, and it hurt so bad. But up until then, it was great. It was real great. So there's a movie or something that says like drowning's the worst, most painful death, and I was like, yeah, it was kind of great. It was
Well,
lovely.
Jeffrey, I don't know what to say. This is pretty hardcore.
Oh, is it hardcore?
Yeah.
He just shook his head so hard. What?
You
I-
died.
It's pretty cool. I just had a DMT trip, basically. I think my body rushed with DMT. Now that I've done DMT a bunch, like I know that like that's what happened.
Okay.
I always heard that drowning was like the least painful way.
It is the least. It's really fantastic. Like, it was not even scary at all.
It sounds scary. It doesn't sound painful, but it sounds scary as fuck.
Yeah, I've also relived it
Yeah,
a
it
million
sounds
times, and all the
terrible.
times I've told it, but it really wasn't like. It was kind of great.
But there had to have been a moment when you're going, I'm been under here for too long.
Yeah. Oh, in the beginning of it, when you're like on your hands and knees, and you're like, I can't physically push up from this ground, and the water is rushing down on me, and also that water, like at least at that time, the water's super clear, and so like I could like see everything around me, which was like really weird because you're like, oh, I'm down here. But anyways, point is, it was really cool, and that's why.
You could see, but you couldn't get out.
Yeah, but this is why I'm gonna be pissed if I die too fast, because dying and like knowing you're dying and the DMT coming through feels amazing, and I really want that ending like psychedelic trip on the way out. But if I die instantly, like if I died in the submarine that imploded, I'd be pissed. No DMT. Just
So
go
when
on.
everything went golden, you weren't passed out though, because you were conscious of that.
Yeah, I guess so. Whatever was happening, I think it was a DMT trip. I think my body was filling with with DMT because I was dying. It was cool though.
Is that what happens before you die?
Yep. Your body's flooded with this chemical that is a hallucinogen.
So that's why people like to do DMT.
Yeah.
They feel like they're dying.
No, it's not that you feel that you're dying. It's that you feel an amazing connection to the universe and calmness and everything's wonderful. And you kind of see other universes and stuff like that.
Aliens and angels and shit.
Yes. All sorts of stuff.
Oh, that's my favorite dude, Evan Alexander, the neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
I read his book, but I, for some reason, didn't remember the
You
DMT
did?
part of it.
What book did he...
He's a neurosurgeon. Now I'm mixing it up with the other lady, the stroke of genius lady, because he saw more than the afterlife. He had all
Yes.
this stuff, and he came back and told people and his family and stuff. But a lot of people, when they have this, they can't talk about it for a while.
Yes.
And then now it's like his life's mission to integrate it. But a lot of the people, like his doctor friends, are like, F you. You know, they're like turned away from him, and he's like trying to integrate it into science.
Because he's
Proof
saying
of
that it's heaven.
Well, because he had different stages.
Yeah.
The one there was one with the celestial music and the
Journey section.
where it goes through the review, the life review. But he had another one while he was in a coma where he describes like he was a worm.
What?
And it was like his lower consciousness and he's like in mud, and it was like just impulses and sounds and stuff. I haven't read it in a while.
Oh, that's so cool.
I want to read it again right now because I'm now forgetting the
Being a worm must be great.
but it was like, you know, he didn't have language, but he had these weird rudimentary memories of being
Wow.
worm-like, of
That's
like the
amazing.
basic consciousness.
Holy crap balls.
But he also had the traditional, so there were all these different stages to it. 'Cause
Yeah.
he was in a coma. So he also had the thing when people look at themselves from the ceiling
Yes.
and see who's like working on them and stuff. And,
Yes.
And they have that information of like, you were in the operating room.
Yeah.
You were wearing these glasses because they were watching themselves.
Yeah,
die.
remote viewing. I've done
Yeah.
that once. We don't have enough time. That's amazing. Holy crap balls.
Wait a second. Is this from his thing? Because he's quoting the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
The underworld, the realm of the earthworm's eye view. This is so good. I'm going to read this like tonight. Like being a mole or an earthworm buried deep in the ground, yet somehow able to see the tangled mattresses of roots. The Old Testament's answer to answer the question, where do people go when they die, was to Sheol. Oh, there's a name of it. Sheol. A place of darkness and semi-consciousness, a gloomy half-life.
I don't like this
There's no
anymore.
work or thought or knowledge of wisdom to which you are going. The underworld was not a particularly important concept of the Israelite. Right?
Yeah. Anytime it gets negative, I'm
This
like,
sounds
I'm out.
awful.
Yeah, this sounds not good anymore. I like the golden part of it.
Oh, but this isn't. But this is they're quoting him in something about the Old Testament. It seems consciousness without any memory or identity. That sounds cool. A dream where you know what's going on.
It's all good.
Yeah, I'm into
We'll
it.
read Eben's book.
It says for Eben Alexander, the realm of the earthworm's eye view was deeply unpleasant.
Yeah.
Grotesque animal faces bubbled out of the muck, groaned or screeched, and then were gone again. I heard an occasional dull roar. Sometimes these roars changed to dim, rhythmic chants that were both terrifying and weirdly familiar, as if at some point I'd known and uttered them all myself. This sounds horrific.
This is a bad trip. He had a bad trip.
Why is my memory of it like, hey, that worm stuff was kind of cool?
I
Like
know.
that's how I like file things.
Yeah.
I think that's my own inability. Like I'm like, hey, everything's gonna be okay. It's like it is not. I don't know why you were like, hey, he went into a worm state. That's all I
know.
remember.
As soon as you said that, I was like, ooh, worm bath, like a mud baths. I'm like, if I be a worm, like you're just feeling and hanging out all day. Chilling.
Well, that's the interesting part is that he's conscious of sort of this unconscious half state that he can recollect it. That was the biggest thing is that he came back with all this information, and he's a neurosurgeon. So he blew his own mind. He's like, look, I don't want to believe this, and I shouldn't be alive because there's all the medical description is really interesting too.
That's cool.
Of the different parts of his brain that were shutting down that could be possible explanations. And then he's like, yeah, but there's no explanation for all this other stuff. And because I know so much about the brain, I'm also proving that I'm not just having a dream because I'm technically not conscious. So there's all this like gray area. See if you can pull up his like the good part so we don't have to stay with the worm. The celestial review of life part.
I have a question. So for this, where his brain was shut down, how does he know that he actually was experiencing that at that time and not now that he's awake, backfilling those like that as a memory?
Yeah.
Because when people are on DMT or undergo like near-death
It is
experience, like your
fantastical.
brain is like firing off, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, I think that's part of the discussion in the book is, I don't know, because ultimately it is his memory that he's relying on.
Yeah. And DMT like lasts 15 minutes, and the strongest part of it is like 7-8 minutes, and it feels like you've been under for hundreds of years.
I guess because in his conscious mind, he connected it to reasons why this was meaningful to humans, you know? But he does talk about it specifically like that it is real and proves why, but I don't quite remember.
Here's a question that I wonder. One, had he ever done drugs before this? And two, has he done DMT since? Because if not, if you are a straight-laced scientist your whole life and all of a sudden you go on a mega trip, I would think that was God too. Like 100%, I'd be like, "This is God," and they were like, "Nah, you were stoned."
All right, this is gonna have to be a part two because I don't have the book in my mind anymore. I'm gonna have to come back and talk. We're gonna have to all talk
on a future episode. Let's get the book, and then we can both talk about it.
Because he would be adamantly,
I bet,
mad at you right now.
I bet, and I would love it.
Okay, what have we got here?
I found the angelic choirs.
Okay. Give us the little angelic.
Oh, he had the angelic choirs.
Yeah, so he starts with the earthworm's eye view.
That was the first thing he experienced?
And then it says, from which I was rescued by a slowly spinning clear white light associated with a musical melody that served as a portal up into rich and ultra-real realms. Ooh. The Gateway Valley was filled with many earth-like and spiritual features. Vibrant and dynamic plant life with flowers and buds blossoming richly and no signs of death or decay. Waterfalls into sparkling crystal pools, thousands of beings dancing below with great joy and festivity, all fueled by swooping golden orbs in the sky above, angelic choirs emanating chants and anthems that thundered through my awareness, and a lovely girl on a butterfly wing who proved months later to be central to my understanding of the reality of the experience, as reported in detail towards the end of my book, Proof of Heaven.
Ooh, this is just an ad.
Read more to understand. So I guess the question of this podcast is, have you seen the worm realm?
Yeah. That's the name of this podcast.
Worm realm.
The worm realm.
The angelic realm. Let us know.
Yes, please.
And is it because you died trying to go down the tube in Austin? Or is it because you straight up took a DMT trip?
Yes. You can email us at thatwillyoudo@gmail.com. That is where you can send us your near-death experiences. I would love to hear about people.
I'm actually less interested in the straight-up drug.
Yeah.
But there's going to be people that are super into that too.
Yeah, that's great.
Because
but
that also
anybody can do the drug. Tell us about the time that you died.
But people still, a drug trip, there there are those people or those periods in your life where you're like, that changed everything for me. So that's where the
Right.
arguments kind of cross over. But yeah,
Totally.
that's what this is so good, because he's
Yeah.
such a serious doctor
Yeah. Tell
and
me
went
about,
through it himself.
about the time that you became a centipede.
Yeah. Put another quarter in. I'll be Pac-Man. You'll be Centipede. Let's go to Galaga. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love you so much.
I love you too.
Thank you guys for
Hey, please subscribe to our podcast, That Woo You Do. I'm Mary Lynn Rice Cup. This is Jeffrey J. Come see us on tour. Give us 5 stars.
Yep.
We
You can
both do
find
stand-up comedy.
all of our dates at MaryLynnMaryLynn.com or JeffreyJComedy at .com. And
a lot of times we're together.
hell yeah, we are.
All right.
See you, bye.
Bye. Going back to my worm state now.
We know that life is shit and we can all get so fed up with it. It may be weird, but hey, it works for you. Go on and pour some Kool-Aid for 2 and tell us what's the woo that you do.